like it's a choice, and so we've got to choose joy. You know, and even this morning, I want to make sure everybody is having a great morning. We've been rocking you out all morning, and I want to make sure that you guys are choosing joy this morning. Don't let anything bring you down. It's still a new year. I know that one of the things that happens is this sobering effect after the holidays, after you spend all this time with your family. Then it's this sobering effect where usually something goes wrong, which really is normal, but it's just sobering when it hits you right after all the positivity from the holidays. Let me tell you something. You can choose joy and protect your holidays anyway. You can protect your holidays with God, and keep every day a holiday, a holy day. Keep every day a day where you're celebrating life, celebrating God, celebrating His goodness. Make sure you, matter of fact, the scripture talks about laughter being joy to the soul. Faith, you love to laugh at your own jokes and when somebody trips and falls and embarrasses themselves. I mean, Faith is that daughter. She was my daughter where as long as I was like stomping my toe, like she'd have a straight face, no laugh, no nothing. But if I stump my toe, she's cracking up. If I hit myself in the head, she I love that. You would think I got in a full fledged fight. If I was babysitting Faith, you would think I was in a full fledged fight, but really I just had to hit myself constantly to keep her entertained. Not TV, not anything other than me hurting myself, and she would, just appreciate my comedy. But if I told a joke or tried to be funny or nope, nope, nope. The only thing that really worked was me almost like destroying my face. And then she would want to get in on it. I'd get close to her, and then she hit my face. And I was like, all right, I know your personality type. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about gut laughing, like from the soul laughing because I tripped and fell. And I noticed it because I always used to say she didn't like me. I was always trying to find out why she would never laugh. She would never laugh. She was always serious and she would never laugh. And then one day, I lie to you not, I stumped my toe coming into the room. Oh no, I was stepped on some toy while she was standing in the carriage, and I stepped on the toe, and I leaned up against the wall, and I'm hopping, and I leaned up against the wall, and I look, and she's just chuckling away, like like that kind of chuckle, right?
When I step there for you to step on it.
I think she did. I think she's like, I got you, brother. Like I think she totally did it on purpose. You know what I mean? I remember thinking, all right, this chick's a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like I remember thinking she's a little crazy. And then of course, one day my son comes tumbling down the stairs and he's looking up at the top of the stairs, and there is Faith with her hair all wild, looking like a Chucky doll, and then she like one of those creepy kids from the scary movies. There's Faith, and she goes, he hit me. And I was like, I got Ezekiel, and I was like, I'm out of here, man. I've watched way too many of those scary movies to sit and wait to see what happens from here. And it was just like, oh. And Hope's not scary for a person. Hope is the type that you got to put all your stuff away because something is about to get broken. Is that why she irritates you?
Yeah.
Because she breaks everything?
Yeah.
Hope is me 100%. She hopes all me. You know what I mean? What did you say, Ezekiel?
No, I was going to say, dang, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that happens.
Right. Hey, what is it like for you having a teenager out there in radio world or StreamYard world? Isn't it funny when you're a parent, you can't wait for your child to grow up and you want to see what kind of person they become. And then you start to see what kind of person they become. And you're like, no, please stop. Has that ever happened? No, I'm talking.
I was like,
of course it didn't happen to you.
I was like, what?
No, I'm just saying to the people out there, they're probably somebody's going, I'm in that situation right now. And I tell you what, you can still choose joy in that situation. I know it seems like a nightmare because it is. That's why. It is a nightmare. That's totally true. It's a nightmare. Raising teenagers is like raising, the devil to a certain point. And it all depends on how crazy you are. I'm going to tell you that. That's just the truth. If you're crazy enough, you won't have a problem with your teenager. Between God and crazy, you're good. You'll put your teenager in check, because teenagers, all they like to do is find out what you really talk about. Like, they're trying to figure out if everything you told them when they were a kid is true. And they also try to find out if you're really the awesome person that they thought you were when they were babies, as they realize they're getting closer to adulthood. And so you got to let them know that this is why I only taught my kids two things. God's awesome, Dad's crazy. And that's what I taught them. I can be consistent with that. God is consistently awesome, Dad is consistently crazy. I love it. Because, when they find out that, one, God is awesome, they're happy about that. When they find out that dad or mom is actually crazy, then they go, wow, they were completely honest. I have no reason to rebel.
To answer that question, teenagers think parents are as cool as they were as babies. The answer is no.
Why is that?
Because I want to say they're not as cool, but they, some of the stuff that they tell kids, they lie to you.
Right.
And they think that they are like so superior to you, as if God doesn't look at them as kids.
God does look at adults as kids.
So,
that's why I told you guys a long time ago when you were a baby. It was like, listen, don't grow up thinking that adults are all that. When adults are just a bunch of big kids that have no idea what they're doing, so they, they find jobs and careers, but they're really just scared people, who bring in scared people. You know what I mean? But don't fall for the trap. Now here's what I can say though. When you get people who are focused on, their destiny, people of purpose are awesome. Focused people who have direction, who are going somewhere, they're awesome. But the others, the people that are misdirected and don't, those are the guys that you got to watch out for, because they like to talk like they know what they're talking about, but they really have no clue. They just make stuff while they pretend they're good at the surface level stuff, but behind the scenes, they don't really know anything. Tell you what, man, I'll never forget being at IHOP until it was Faith's birthday, and Faith just comes up to me. I told her to come here, and she had this straight look, and I was like, "What's wrong, baby? It's your birthday." She just opens up her mouth and spits out Sprite all over me. I'm just like, okay, all right, well,
I found out what's wrong with you.
happy birthday. Because you probably shouldn't give, how old do you think you were, about 5 or 6? You probably shouldn't give like a 6 or 7-year-old Sprite for breakfast.
yeah.
See, these are the things I'm talking about adults not knowing anything. Now, I wanted to be upset with her that her stomach got upset because I gave her a Sprite at 6 years old, 7 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, why didn't the waitress or somebody stop me at IHOP and say, hey, you probably shouldn't give that kid Sprite?
They were also probably thinking, no, it's their birthday. So they were.
Yeah, that junk.
They probably wouldn't.
Like we load you guys up with sugar and then get mad that you're hyper.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then we get tired and we get mad we're tired.
Well, you guys got to be careful, because one day you're going to be parents. You know what I mean? So, like I laugh at people who don't have kids when they're like, how could you leave your child in the car? And I'm like, do you not know how much stuff is going on when you're a parent? It's so easy. Well, the key is to not remember that you left your kid in the car. That's a little creepy. But there were so many times that I was getting ready to walk away and was like, oh man, I got the kids in the car. Because you're busy. You're like, now with you guys and having 3 kids, it was always like I felt the weight of my arms, because I used to always carry both of you in the carriages at the same time, because y'all are 1 year apart. You know what I mean? And so I'd have to carry one, both of you. So I would miss that. It was easy for me to like take 5 steps from the car and then be like, oh, yeah, I got to get the put it this way, the first couple months, you're transitioning from being, just being about you and your wife to now having kids. I do know that for whatever reason, I couldn't raise you guys without a mess. Like I needed, like to me, it just didn't seem like a party if there wasn't like tons of toys and stuff like that. One of the coolest things that we used to do when you guys were kids was I would film you guys learning your alphabets, your ABCs and stuff, and then let you guys watch yourselves on TV. That just would just amaze you when you started seeing yourself. You would learn. And what I didn't know is that you guys actually thought that they were different people. That's the part that I realized, that you guys were definitely gonna, you definitely were weird. You know what I mean? When he was like, Dad, he said A, I said A, and I'm like, yeah, you're him because I just recorded you, and then Faith would be like, hey, Dad, she said B, and I said, I'm like, so you guys are the same people. And then I'd be like, I'd put a mirror in front of you, right? And you guys would look at the mirror, and they were, Daddy, that's me. Ezekiel would be like, that's me. And Faith would be like, that's me. And I'm like, yeah. Then I show you on the TV, and he'd be like, who's that? And I'm like, it's the same person. I even put the mirror right beside the TV to try to show you guys that it was the same person. But because the TV was recorded, you didn't think it was the same person because they weren't moving with you when you move. And Faith, of course, was the one that would get the maddest at me and be like, no, Daddy, that's not me. This is me. And it was so confusing. This is how bad it was. I would get so frustrated when I opened the refrigerator, I'd go grab some milk and it would be a bottle and then I'd drink it and I'm like, because it was actually a bottle. Instead of, but I'd be like, oh my gosh, what am I dealing with? Faith has always thought she could tell me what to do since she was born. And Ezekiel, here's what's so cool about Ezekiel. He always looked at me like, you did this to yourself. Since she was born, since his two sisters were born, Ezekiel has always looked at me like, why? Like, why did you have others? He was like Gizmo from Gremlins, and the other, So if you got any funny family stories, please give me a ring 757-631-7777. I've seen some crazy stuff, of course, on the internet where like the 6-year-old, drove a car, and stuff like that. That was pretty scary. But at the same time, it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? Yeah, I used to, this is not funny, but it is funny. I did used to call the police and ask if they could bring me some chocolate milk or bring me pizza because I knew that when my parents would get on the phone, pizza would show up. You know what I mean? Or my mom would call my dad and then chocolate milk or something would show up. So I used to go to my grandma's house and I would call the police and ask for oh man, the way a child's mind works.
Did it work?
No. I just got in trouble. Got in trouble. That was, and doing stuff like that when you're a kid in my family, you're definitely gonna get the spankings. Oh God, I miss seeing the world from your perspective. Like, y'all don't miss like everything being huge and giant because I know you guys are
Medium size.
Yeah. No, you're pretty tall. You don't miss that where everything was like bigger than you because you're like taller than a lot of people right now.
Yeah, I don't.
He said, "No, I don't."
I miss. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing about being a kid you miss.
Yeah, no.
You're happy to be in the gym and all that stuff. So, Faith, I want to ask you this. When we go to the gym and you're running, because you do look like you're in misery.
Yes.
All right. What are you thinking about? Without the television, what are you thinking about? Can you get on the mic?
I don't know. I'm just stopping and playing.
There you go. Tell the truth.
I'm just stopping. Just listening for your voice to say stop.
It's torture.
Yeah. Just tell myself to keep going and try to have an attitude and try not to stop, but just wanting to stop at the same time.
Now, I noticed your sister is beside you. She's just trucking. She's running, right? Going the same speed as you.
Yeah.
And then she says things like, don't quit, don't give up.
Oh, yeah.
And you have this look like you just want to punch her in the face.
Yeah.
What is that?
Because, like, especially the last time we went to the gym, like, because she stopped without you telling her to stop, and then we had to run 5 more minutes, and then she kept saying, good job, you can go do it. I was like, if you don't shut up, you're the reason why we got to still going.
Well, let me tell you what that is. When you're running, you have to push yourself. It's just you versus you. That's why running is such a great way to challenge yourself, because it's you versus you. And some people try to put music in and things like that, but it's really good to just every once in a while to have no distractions. Just focus on what you're going to do. And I know many of you are like, dude, you're fat. How are you going to say that? You haven't done that in years. I know, because I haven't done it in years. But I've done it. That's why I've challenged myself. Like back in the day. Ezekiel, you zone out.
Yeah.
You just go, man.
Because I feel like if I zone out, it would hurt less. It actually does. It actually doesn't hurt at all.
It's like, skip pain at all costs.
I'm just trying to figure out where I went wrong, where my children are hurt by exercise.
No, I mean, it burns.
Oh, you mean the actual burn? Yeah, I got it. I got you. Well, the fact is that a lot of times when you're working out, it's transitioning and everything like that. All right, Evan in the AM. We're going to play some music for you guys. I Am Yours, Need to Breathe. Yeah, guys, for everyone out there in radio world, let's make sure. Let me just cut my mic off. Sorry about that. All right, so everybody out there in the Facebook land, social community land, all that good stuff. Kind of having two different topics. The radio world. The first thing in the morning. I usually come a little harder with deep topics and stuff like that, and I want to lighten things up a little bit because I know a lot of people have been going through, so we just want to make people laugh and have a good time. And that mic was on, and I just had to cut it off, so people just heard me say all that. But I do want to lighten things up because I want people to really feel joy. Even though my kids aren't really good co-pilots when it comes to happy thoughts. It's just like, what are you talking about today, Dad? I don't want to talk about happiness. Let's talk about misery and darkness and
Tool.
poetry. She said tool. This is their real morning being, their real morning selves. This is what when y'all woke up, you're like, oh man. It was such a good sleep.
Yeah.
But we're doers. You know what I mean? All right, so got some things for you guys to check out. One, John Hewitt's book, I Compete. Make sure you get it. All right, make sure you get it. John Hewitt's book, I Compete. Very important, John Hewitt. These are books that will absolutely change your life. John Hewitt, I Compete. All right, that's from the owner of what do you call it? Jackson and Hewitt. He's owned H&R Block, Liberty Tax, and now A-Tax. So make sure you guys check that out. I Compete by John Hewitt. And then, of course, Sheroes of Faith, Clinton McRae. All right. This is about the women who have made some amazing women who have made some amazing accomplishments in the Word of God that don't get a lot of mention. And the question is why? What happened? And then, of course, we have these books by Janet Garcia, Thirst No More and Free and Unfettered. Janet Garcia. Make sure you check that out. All right. Because these authors have written books to make a difference in your life. That's kind of in my ear. I can hear the molecules of your snot. And then we have the Baby Chronicles. Look at this. Where You Were Before You Were. Make sure you check that out by Beatrice Bruno. And she's a drill sergeant. She made me do push-ups in the mall. Next up, we have Success Speaks, Stephen Dunn. 29 years old, this guy. So for everybody out there who's supposed to be writing books, get to work. You know what I mean? Get to work. By the way, I had this revelation that I'm not going to share over the radio, but I'm going to tell you guys about. That was pretty funny. I want to see if no one's responded to it yet. All right. This is going to start a little bit of trouble. So, now, again, this is not going over the radio, but I'm talking to the viewing audience. And I want you guys to think about something. All right. So, the word straight. All right, what does the word straight actually mean? All right, follow me. Follow me now. The word straight, what does it actually mean? Well, to be totally honest with you, it actually means to go from one point to another point without interruption, with no curves, no bend. All right, cool. Matter of fact, look up the definition of the word straight. Faith. Now look at the word. Now I want you guys to see what was about to happen. Now, I do know in slang, someone can ask you if you need help. You say, "Yeah, I'm straight." Do you need assistance? No, I'm straight. It means like I'm good. No, I'm straight. I'm good. I read it. Ezekiel, come on, man. With the nose thing.
Extending or moving uniformly in one direction only without curve or bend.
So without curve or bend. So if something's straight is without curve or bend, it's always affiliated to something good. Like I said, are you straight? No, I'm in a good state of being. So are you okay? Yeah, I'm straight. Do you need help? Nah, I'm good. Or I'm straight. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting that the LGBTQ community uses that same term. Like, are you straight? Yeah. Or are you gay? Or are you, bi or binary or, whatever. I think it's very interesting that they use that term because it's them that's saying, are you straight? Like, are you good? Are you natural?
We were telling somebody before that, at the mall, that gay actually back then meant happy. And he was like, well, people change the words all the time in English form. And I'm like, that doesn't mean it's
But it doesn't, right. Not only that, here's my thing, is that if they're asking you if you're straight, and you are, is it wrong to say to the LGBT community that, yeah, I'm straight, but are you crooked? Like, are you bent? Are you bent? And I'm not being a jerk. I'm just saying, because the opposite of straight is to be crooked or to be bent. You know what I mean? So it's like, wait a minute. The LGBTQ community asked the question, are you straight? Like, most straight people aren't going, are you straight? So I just think that's a very interesting concept. Are you straight? When people ask, are you straight? And then, you don't think that's weird?
Yeah.
Because a straight could a straight person respond back and say, "Are you crooked?" I see you.
Yeah, they wanted to.
Just based off the definition of straight and crooked, you would think, I don't know.
You could.
Just a thought. Let me know. Let me guys know. Let me know what you guys think about that concept. You know, cause it's like, hey, you're. It's not a bad. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just wondering about that question. If they ask, you know, if a guy came up to me and said, you know, hey, are you straight? Then I would say, like, yeah, are you crooked? Are you crooked? I don't go that way, you know. So it's just an interesting concept that they can use the term straight out of their own mouths, out of their own communication to identify heterosexuals as straight. Yeah. Like, you're the right way. You got any friends that's going the wrong way? You know, so just a thought, you know. Well, listen to the. I wish you guys could make sure you guys check out Current FM's music, currentfm.com. You'd be surprised at how awesome this station really is, and the wonderful music that's getting played. And by the way, what I just said, I know it's complicated to wrap your brain around. Just take the time to listen and really think about what I just said, and it is mind blowing because it's like, wait a minute, you know. So it's not just a play on words; it's the way we use words. Isn't it funny how on text message you can say things, but because it's text message, you can't see how it's being said? Yeah, because sometimes I think you guys have attitudes when you don't. Yeah. That's always
usually when we're. If y'all have aggravated me, usually I text, but I try to be respectful.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like when people can know that you're angry and they still talk to you at that moment. Yeah, it does it on purpose, but
yeah, it's true. That's all true.
But sometimes I can admit that some of the stuff that I say over text, I would not say to somebody's face.
Also, make sure you call in 757-631-7777. I'd love to know how your New Year's resolutions are going. Have you already dropped off? Are you still going? What's going on? Where are you at on your New Year's resolution? So make sure you let me know. But tell you what, we're gonna take a quick break, and I will see you guys later.